Is silver the new gold? Why are silver prices rising dramatically in India? In this session, we will find out. Hello students, welcome to Drishti IAS. My name is Saloni Nandkyoliar and today let us talk about the increasing price of silver in India. Now before we do that, let me just quickly tell you that we have this new course for you, which is the Studio GS Foundation live online course. This course is going to help you with your complete UPSC preparation of both prelims and mains. So you're getting a complete UPSC preparation kit at a very affordable price of only rupees 24,999. And you also have 3 different mediums to choose from: English, Hindi and Hinglish. So don't wait, the admissions are already open, and if you wish to avail a further discount on this fee, then you can use my coupon code, which is SALONI, all in capital letters only, and you will be able to get the maximum discount on this fee. So don't wait, admissions are open, and this course is going to be a completely free course for you if you are planning to join the offline foundation batch of Drishti in future, because this fee is going to be adjusted in the fees of our offline foundation batch. So don't wait. For any more information, please call us at this number, which is 87501, and you can also download the Drishti Learning app and enroll into this course. Now let us talk about the price surge in silver in India. So basically, silver prices in India have increased dramatically. In fact, just within the first 3 weeks of entering the new year, we have seen a tremendous increase of rupees 57,000 in the price of silver. So it has increased from some 2,38,000 per kilogram to 2,95,000 per kilogram. And there is an anticipation that this is going to rise even further. So this is telling us that there is a tremendous increase in the prices of silver in India. And it is also raising a bigger question. Why is all this happening? Why are we seeing such a surge in the price of silver? So for that, we'll have to look at the reasons behind this surge. Now, whenever the price of a commodity increase, you must come to one conclusion, that the demand for that commodity might have increased. And this is what's happening in the case of silver also, that there is a demand spike in silver. Silver as a commodity is required because of not just its traditional use in the jewelry sector, but because of its upcoming use in many industries also. Countries now are wanting to transition towards clean technology, green technology, and in order to do that, they are heavily dependent on silver, because silver is used in our electric vehicles, in our semiconductors, in our photovoltaic cells, solar panels, etc. So because silver is now also being used so exhaustively in the industries, that is why there is an increase in the demand of silver. And because there is an increase in this demand, the price of silver is also increasing, because this demand spike that we see over here, it is not backed by enough supply. There is a supply constraint. So the price of a commodity will increase when the spike in the demand is not met by proper supply, by adequate supply. This is what India also is facing at the moment. There is a heavy supply constraint. You must understand that India requires some 5,000 to 7,000 tons of silver annually. We require 5,000 to 7,000 tons of silver annually to meet our domestic needs. And how much do we produce? We produce only some 700 to 800 tons of silver domestically. So we need 5,000 to 7,000 and we are able to produce only 700 to 800. This means that there is a heavy gap in what we need annually. And in order to fill that gap, what will we do? We will import. And that is what happens in India's case also. We are heavily dependent on imports when it comes to silver. In fact, we import some 80-85% of what is needed at home because we are not able to produce that domestically. So we are heavily dependent on imports. On countries like Mexico, China, Chile, Argentina, UAE, etc. So there are many countries that we are heavily relying on imports because we are not domestically capable of meeting our supplies, of meeting our needs. And when it comes to our supply domestically of silver, we are heavily relied only on one state, which is Rajasthan. We are dependent on the mines in Rajasthan, silver mines in Rajasthan, to meet most of our domestic needs. And a problem with silver mining is that other than the silver mines, most of the time silver is extracted as a byproduct of other metals. In the case of India, silver most of the times is attained by the extraction of zinc as a byproduct. Silver is attained as a byproduct in the extraction of zinc. This is what happens in India. We do not have enough to meet our domestic needs, and for that we are heavily relied on imports. Then the other problem over here is that there is a global price rise. There is a global price rise in silver because of the growing geopolitical tensions. Geopolitical tensions, high volatility in the economy, geoeconomic confrontations. We see that people or investors are now moving towards safe havens. Other than traditional gold, silver is also upcoming as a safe haven for investors. People are wanting to invest their money in silver because the demand for silver is only going to increase in the upcoming years, because I just told you that silver is required by our industries. We need a silver to transition towards clean technology. All the countries are moving towards clean technology. They're doing R&D, and for that they require silver. So the demand for silver is only going to increase, and that's why the investors feel that this is a good option to invest in. There are going to be high returns, and there is a great geopolitical uncertainty in the world, and that is why this feels like a safe haven for investment. So the global prices have also increased, and that is why prices in India have also increased, particularly because India suffers from a weak currency exchange. So there is a great rupee depreciation that we are seeing at the moment, and what happens that globally silver is priced in dollars, and when we convert it into rupees, naturally it becomes more expensive for us because the value of rupee is falling. There is rupee depreciation. Our imports are becoming expensive, and we are relied heavily on imports when it comes to silver. That is why we are seeing that silver in India is particularly becoming more and more expensive because our currency is weak in comparison to dollars. So all these factors combined are leading to this great price rise in silver. Now what needs to be done? We must first understand that the demand is only going to increase and we have limited supply to back this. So we must look at diversifying our options, and we must also start looking for alternatives over here. We must do more R&D to understand what other alternative metals can be used over here, because we have only limited capacity. We can also think of creating some strategic reserves where we can store all these things and use in the time of needs. So all these things need to be taken care of, and at the same time we must also try and diversify all the options that we have over here, so that we are not overly dependent on only one or two countries like Mexico or China. We have diversified options, and at the same time we must also look at strengthening our currency so that these imports can now be rationalized. The pricing of the imports can be rationalized. So that was all for this video. I hope you enjoyed the discussion, and if you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Drishti IAS English. Now let's look at a practice question for prelims. The recent rise in silver prices in India is primarily due to which of the following reasons? 1. Increase in global silver prices. 2. Rising industrial demand, especially from renewable energy and electronics. Or 3. Depreciation of Indian rupee against the US dollars. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 1 and 3 only, or D. 1, 2 and 3. Please attempt this question and provide your answers in the comment section. Thank you for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.